Hello.
Hello.
I'm Sam.
I'm Jack.
And we are Sam and Jack
Talk.
Yeah, well done. Well done for doing the intro in sync. that was rehearsed. We rehearsed that dozens of times. And that's the best we can do. Yes, today is Monday, the 27th of March, and this is an exciting and brilliant and amazing week in the history of the UK and Europe, because this week it's been announced that on Wednesday Article 50 is going to be triggered, and this is going to be a huge big thing.
If we knew how to do music, we'd have just played the Death March.
Yes, exactly.
But, I mean,
mournful, sad faces.
You can imagine it.
Yeah, and this will lead to the UK leaving the European Union. Probably, I'm going to keep saying this, Monday I'll be wrong, I think it's going to be on the 1st of April 2019. That seems like a nice...
It'll seem like a great April Fool's at the time, yeah, well, if it's 1st of April. But,
I think 1st of April is like a good date for doing things, I think.
For jokes.
So, for jokes. So, that's happening. So, obviously, this is like making us really cheerful. It's not making us cheerful.
So happy.
That was sarcasm, in case you're wondering. We decided to cheer ourselves up by playing a game which we've called Brexit Bingo.
Woo!
Even though it isn't really bingo,
nor necessarily Brexit.
No, it's kind of more like a politics tombola.
That would be a crap name.
That would be a crap name. Yeah, what we've done,
in this rather fetching hat, which isn't mine, it's Sam's. We've sort of put different political ideas on small pieces of paper.
Yes.
Things
that have happened.
Things that have happened in the past. Mine go back a little bit, but not too far. And we're going to pick them out at random and talk about them.
Yeah, talk about them, or just generally like pull
or
faces
dismiss it
when we see them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've written some of these, and Jack has written some of these. Cheers, everybody, cheers. I am having a beer. Jack is having cider. But Jack's going to go first.
I'm going to go first. Okay.
Pick from the hat.
George Osborne is the new editor of the Evening Standard.
Yes.
He is.
Proving that not all these are about Brexit.
I feel like this is indirectly about Brexit, though.
Yes.
Because the only reason he's doing this is because he's not now plotting his way back into Downing Street. He's a man that just looks evil.
Yeah, he's not either Chancellor or Prime Minister. I mean, he was, for a while, the favourite to succeed.
Which ordinarily would have made me happy, but... Yeah. I mean, there's a shower in there just now.
Indeed. And I can't remember who it was, had an article in, I think it was The Guardian recently, about how George Osborne has to become like an ally of people who kind of oppose Brexit or oppose hard Brexit. And that's kind of someone from the left saying that about George Osborne, which I think 2 years ago would have been unimaginable.
I imagine
so. That's why that was in there. That was mine.
Okay,
yes.
It's your turn.
Oh, it's me next.
Let me. The Tamalo goes round. Tamala,
yes.
Tambola.
Tamala? Does you say tzatziki? Okay. Oh yes. This was topical. This is one of Jack's. The Richmond by-election,
which happened even further. I'm sorry. That's not.
When was the Richmond by-election? Even is it in February?
January?
No, was it before Christmas? This knowledge, we are brilliant at knowledge here, aren't we?
I didn't do any research.
The Richmond by-election was pretty astounding. It happened about 18 months after the 2015 general election, really, where the Lib Dems obviously routed after essentially being punished for participating in the coalition. And then in Richmond, they had Richmond Park. They had I think it's 21% swing from Zach Goldsmith, essentially the Tories and the
notorious racist.
Leave.
Zach Goldsmith.
Yes. You heard it here first.
In case you forgot.
In case you forgot, yes. Who I think was, punished by the quite liberal-minded voters of Richmond Park, perhaps also for that rather, unfortunate and in parts racist campaign he fought against Sadiq Khan for the mayoralty, but also for his support of the Leave vote. Frankly, it was really stupid of him to sign and call the by-election, because he just ended his own political career. He tried to fight it on the issue of Heathrow because he opposed Heathrow expansion, but all the other candidates in the by-election opposed Heathrow. And that wasn't a surprise. Everyone knew that was going to happen. So maybe it was some weird, masochistic ploy to leave politics in like some like great kind of disaster. But yeah, it was an amazing result for the Lib Dems, I should say, who now have 9 MPs. Yes.
Woo! A life-changing 9 MPs.
Yes. Yes, Jack.
It's my turn.
Pick one. I'm going to stop talking in a minute.
I've got Owen Smith. Owen Smith. Exactly. Owen Smith ran for the leadership of the Labour Party in summer last year. The man may have been very interesting, insightful, somebody who had been a great leader, I'm sure, but in the Labour leadership campaign he had the personality of a piece of toast, and was running against somebody who had like the biggest mandate from members or whatever since the Labour Party began.
It's like the rest of the Labour Party looked at all of their MPs who were Jeremy Corbyn and Jeremy Corbyn supporters and thought, which of these is the most useless? And then they got him to run. So that all ended really well, obviously.
Great. Happy times, because the Labour Party is doing amazing now.
Yes, hooray. Yay, 19-point Tory lead. Yes, that's what we do this for. Next. Okay. I've picked another one. I thought I was picking one that Jack had put in, but this is actually one of mine. Ken Clarke has become a lefty pin-up. Yes, Ken Clarke. Ken Clarke news. Jack is like, I have no idea.
But I know who he is.
You know, Ken Clarke is that good. Ken Clarke, who is the
former Chancellor of the Exchequer,
Conservative MP.
That's right.
And he was the only Conservative MP a few weeks ago to vote against the bill. Did he vote against the bill or just an amendment? Again, we're like so knowledge excellent. He was the only Conservative MP who did something kind of voting against Brexit a bit.
I feel like calling him a lefty pin-up is a bit much.
Well, I say this in the context of I would now, if I had technology, I would flash this up on screen. A picture that I took on the which I sent to you.
Yes,
a picture that I took on the March for Europe demonstration on Saturday. Of a banner that a guy had made with a picture of Ken Clarke, which I think said, "We love you, Ken." And I went and took a picture of this banner, and then I obviously had to ask him wanted to ask him why he made this banner. And the first thing he said to me is, "I'm not a Tory," and I definitely believed him. He and his friends had a kind of general lefty vibe to them. If you can, like, I don't know if that's like racist, just think people are left wing from the way they behave.
They were wearing like knitwear, possibly needed a haircut.
Yeah.
I mean, not that we can talk.
And he said that he just thought that Ken Clarke was one of the few people who seemed to be talking sense recently. And I think that's true. But I think there are lots of things about Ken Clarke that aren't particularly appealing, like his work kind of lobbying for the tobacco industry is not something that would appeal to most people, whether on the left or the right of the political spectrum. But the fact he's now become someone who lots of people, myself included really, think is quite sensible on the topic of Europe, which is the topic of the day, of the year, of the decade, is pretty astonishing really, if you'd thought of that.
Way back when?
Well, maybe not 2 or 3 years ago, but maybe 20 years ago. That would have been an astonishing thought.
Let's go.
That was next. I think we're picking.
We need more hat.
There are lots of things in there. This video's going to be so long.
Is this from H&M?
No, it's from Bespoke Tailors. Yeah, it's from H&M. I think it was £6. Probably made by... I don't want to know.
Jeremy Corbyn is still leader of the Labour Party. How is Jeremy Corbyn still leader of Labour? Well, actually, there are many sort of insightful sort of opinion pieces on why he is still leader of the Labour Party.
Yeah.
I'm sure all with a grain of truth, some with a lot of embellishment. I don't really know why per se myself.
I don't know why. I just know that it's astonishing.
That we are here. We're like a turtle on a post.
What? Is that a Scottish expression of some kind?
No, it's like a turtle on a post. It can't do anything up there. It's no idea how it got there, and it doesn't know how it's going to get back down.
That's brilliant. Why have I never heard that expression
That is definitely cliche.
Turtle on a post. Yes, like a turtle on a post. I can now say that with confidence. Yeah, I mean, I should say I agree with most of Jeremy Corbyn's political opinions, and those are the people around him.
How can you tell? Because he hasn't set out any policies in the last however many years he has now been in charge.
I'm vaguely aware of what his political stances were
Mansion tax.
Before.
He loves that, I'm sure.
Even before he became leader. But the point I was trying to make is, while I agree with some of the opinions that he has had over the years, he's just incompetent at being the leader of a political party, which is unfortunate. It would have been nice if he was competent at it, but he's not. So he should resign. You heard it here first.
Groundbreaking opinion there.
I've picked another one. This is me picking hats. It happened. It's not doing it on screen. The next one is, oh yes, this is a very Brexit-y one. We are leaving not just the EU, but the single market, the customs union, and Euratom. Euratom.
I don't know
You know what Euratom is?
No.
Well,
Europe of tomorrow.
I don't think it technically exists anymore as a separate entity. No. But it's part of the European Union. It's the European Union Cooperation Agreement on Nuclear Energy and Nuclear Matters.
Okay.
And it was set up around about the same time. In fact, I think it's before the European Community was set up. And essentially, like, countries in Europe working together on like nuclear energy.
This is the sort of
and
knowledge
nuclear
that
issues.
Our dedicated viewership will not get elsewhere.
Yes. Well, knowledge. But we don't really do knowledge. But essentially, what this is saying is we're getting a hard Brexit. And I think if you asked anyone the day after the referendum, even the week after the referendum, when Theresa May became Prime Minister, 3 weeks after the referendum, whether we were getting a Brexit that would involve leaving the single market and the customs union,
Most people would have said.
they would have said no.
No.
But that appears to be the direction we're heading in.
It's weird when you can be like, those were the days.
Yeah, those were the days when Theresa May became Prime Minister. I look back at that so fondly. Jack.
Last
Next.
one?
See, we're not talking about these very much. Yes, last one.
See, this is how far back it goes.
Oh.
This is the special Andrea Leadsom ticket.
Who's
I get bonus
that?
points for being able to incorporate as a mother into every sentence I say. So, as a mother, my favourite part of the whole Andrea Leadsom saga was when a group of Tory MPs led a march on Downing Street, Parliament. I don't know. I didn't even care that much then. To convince the world that Andrea Leadsom should be the Prime Minister of the country. What I do like as well is that when Theresa May became Prime Minister and she went round giving portfolios to different Brexiteers to sort of, I like to think, punish them for all the shit they spoke during the referendum. She came to Andrea Leadsom. She David Davis can have this, Boris Johnson Foreign Secretary, Andrea Leadsom. No, I can't even trust you with, any of the big ticket ones. You're just going to have environment and agriculture and
which
try
is
not
a
to
shit
mess
show post-Brexit. So good luck with that, Andrea. And on that fine little reminisce about Andrea Leadsom, who I'd actually forgotten about recently, and now I'm all upset again because I'm thinking about her existence. I think we're through. I think that's all we have time. All we have time for. That was Brexit Bingo. I hope you enjoyed it. Play it at home. We hope we've inspired you. Play your own versions.
This is a new craze.
We're going to start this. This is going to be massive, we promise.
As a mother, I think you should like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Down one of those sites. I can't remember. And there'll be a new video from us again soon. Bye! Bye!